This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Thursday. The weekend is almost here. If you're just now waking up with us, hope you have a nice warm cup of coffee. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Ray Collins. Up to July 27th now. Let's see if those three H's resume today. Hazy, hot, and humid. Or are we back to more rain now, John?
A little more rain, but not a lot. Most of the rain will fall in inland areas along the coastline. I think it'll still be pretty warm. Got to 93 yesterday.
Wow.
93 degrees. That's too hot. Too hot, no doubt about it. Plus, it feels like temperature that got us up to around 103 degrees in Sarasota. Cracked 105 in inland areas again today. Really steamy. And this morning, we have a little bit more cloud cover around from earlier on showers and thunderstorms inland. Taking a look at the radar view, there's just not a lot of action this morning. And again, like the last several mornings, your morning commute should be absolutely rain-free. Daytime highs in the low 90s. Complete forecast in a sec.
All right, thank you, John. Talk to you again soon. Let's check the roads. First off in Manatee County. Actually, we're starting Sarasota County, where there's a bit of a buildup already on US 41 southbound as you head toward the Ringling Causeway. Also build up along the bayfront there as you pass O'Leary's, Marina Jack, and other local establishments.
There's also those construction cones that are out over there where that 41301 split is.
Oh,
I saw them when I was coming into work this morning.
That's right. They clean those up by 6 or so. Right now, if you head that way, be aware of all the construction cones. And South County right now showing no buildup at 5:02 on your Thursday morning.
Our top story this morning, trashed and abandoned boats along parts of the Sarasota Park bayfront in Sarasota is causing a major upset for those who regularly visit the area.
Our Rick Adams shows us what's being done to clean up the bayfront.
This is what people walking through Bayfront Park in Sarasota have been seeing. Lots and lots of boats situated on or near the land, some of them appearing to be abandoned. Longtime Sarasota resident Blair Crook says he and his wife walk through the park often. He tells us it's been very upsetting to have this ruining the beauty of the park.
We continue to walk this area and notice that these boats have been piling up here, and it wasn't like this years ago. I don't see that it's a temporary issue, that we're seeing the same boats month after month.
Crook says some of these boats have been here for up to a year. He and others are also upset about the trash being left behind. Some of these smaller boats that aren't abandoned belong to the people living on their boats out on Sarasota Bay, allowing them to go back and forth between the water and the land.
It's not a pleasant situation, and I would prefer to see that they were boats that were well maintained or at least maintained and at least had some kind of identification that they weren't abandoned craft.
City officials say that the state has instructed municipalities, including Sarasota, to stop tagging these boats for now, while a class action lawsuit involving Florida's Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is resolved. The city tells us they will look into these concerns over the boats and then decide what to do next.
Well, I think some responsibility, either cleaning up after these boats, underneath these boats, removing a lot of these boats would be a start.
Reporting from Bayfront Park in Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A follow-up now on that disturbing video with a Suncoast tie of a shark being dragged behind a boat. The video of these men off the coast near Palmetto has since gone viral, triggering outrage not only in the fishing community, but around the country. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission is still investigating the incident. The agency did release a statement saying they have identified the individuals in the video and would like to thank the public for their assistance. Their names, however, have not yet been released. One shark expert from Mote Marine Laboratory says he just hopes the animal was dead before it was dragged.
This was torture, plain and simple. I mean, there's no doubt that that animal was in distress. It couldn't breathe properly that way if it was still alive.
FWC officials say it's too early to speculate what, if any, violations took place in the incident until they put together more of the facts about the conditions in that video.
A local convicted triple murderer is now getting more prison time. Andres Avalos Jr. took a plea deal for the attempted murder of a fellow inmate while he was awaiting trial at the Manatee County Jail. As part of the deal, 15 more years were tacked on to his prison sentence. Last May, Avalos was found guilty of killing his wife's boss, and her friend 2.5 years ago. He was sentenced to 3 life prison terms without the possibility of parole.
A 2013 cold case may now be solved following the arrest of a man detectives say fled the country. A little more than 4 years ago today, the body of Jasmine Catano was discovered in her Bradenton apartment. That same day, her ex-boyfriend, Andres Colasos, took a flight from Fort Lauderdale to Colombia. A warrant was quickly issued for his arrest, but he was never brought in. That is, until now. The FBI tracked him down and placed him under arrest.
This was a very high-profile homicide. The victim in this case, Jasmine, was very well liked here, worked at the clerk of court's office, and so a lot of people at the sheriff's office knew of her. So we're just happy that they were able to get him down there. Very, very happy for the family to be able to finally look at this case and say, yes, the person responsible is behind bars.
Colazo is still currently in Colombia. It's unknown when he will be returning to Manatee County for his trial.
Police in Northport have a new high-tech approach to solving crime. They now have an app for the phone that people can submit anonymous video tips. The app is NPPD Tips. It can be downloaded from Apple or the Google Play Store. And if you don't want to download the app, you can still send in tips by texting this 6-digit number, 847-411. And speaking of upgrades, Sarasota County has announced a redesigned and mobile-friendly website. The revamped site features a more user-friendly layout. It's aimed at helping the citizens find the information they want faster with a larger search bar placed front and center. The site's new design adapts to smartphones, laptops, and tablets. The website changes were made following customer feedback and site analytics. To check out the new format, just go to scgov.net.
Following the death of beloved Snooty the manatee, the South Florida Museum is now strongly considering a third-party review. Officials with the museum in Bradenton reaching out to the Manatee Rescue and Rehabilitation Partnership to look into circumstances surrounding his death. The recently turned 69-year-old manatee got stuck in a 30 by 30-inch tunnel used to access plumbing for his tank, a passage usually blocked by an access panel that is bolted shut. Divers inspect that tank daily, but they say they found nothing wrong during a visual inspection last weekend. Snooty was certified in 2015 as the longest living manatee in captivity.
A homeless man is still in the hospital this morning, 3 days after being attacked by an alligator in Port Charlotte. This is 68-year-old Frederick Iman. He says he was bathing in the retention pond Monday. After he got out, a 9-foot alligator right there attacked him from behind. He says he tried to get away as fast as he could, but the gator pulled him back in. He eventually escaped and walked up the street to a nearby surgery center where employees called 911. He says it all happened very fast.
I was kind of in agony. You're having a nice day one minute, and the next minute you're, a bloody mess.
In that attack, Iman lost his left index finger, 2 left toes, and also has injuries to his groin as well.
A piece of Suncoast history is being torn down. Crews are in the middle of demolishing the Whitfield Presbyterian Church on North Tamiami Trail. It's a sad sight for many people who live in the area who remember the church back in its heyday. It opened in the 1950s as the first drive-in church in the country. Members could pull up behind the church, stay in their car, and listen to the service through speakers, just like a drive-in movie.
It was always a joke that they could sit there in their jammies and eat their breakfast and have kids playing in the car or sleeping or something like that and still be able to go to church on a Sunday morning.
Well, the church continued to do drive-in services up until the end of 2015, but the congregation size was dwindling and church staff had a difficult time maintaining that building. They did sell it last year and moved to a new church in Bradenton this past January.
The Suncoast Center for Independent Living marked its 27th anniversary yesterday. SCIL's big milestone coincides with the 27th anniversary of the start of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Nearly 100 people came out to highlight the work on the Suncoast to empower those with disabilities live independent lives. Our own Bobeth Yates co-hosted the event. There she is. This year's honoree was Winn-Dixie store manager Roy Christmas. SCIL's director, Michael Fluker, says the goal is to help Suncoast residents overcome any barrier to get back to a normal life.
Suncoast Center for Independent Living empowers people with disabilities so that they feel that they are part of the community, so they understand that they are empowered to do anything and accomplish whatever dreams they may have in their life in spite of disability.
SEIL is a nonprofit providing everything from advocacy and independent living training to computers and medical equipment for those with disabilities.
The IMG Academy Ascenders are back on the gridiron. The football team is now preparing for their upcoming season, which starts in just a few weeks. This year's team features 98 players, which have been divided into 2 teams. The roster also features 20 players who are already committed to playing at NCAA Division I schools. We caught up with IMG's head coach and one of this year's star players who talked about what makes IMG football so special.
What makes it so unique is that we try and be innovative and find ways to do it, maybe better, or to help kids get more opportunities, when they come here.
Just prepares you for the next level mentally and physically, and then the coaching is great, and then just the love and genuine, and the college readiness, the classes, the schedule, everything.
IMG Academy is coming off an undefeated regular season and will be playing some of the top high school football teams across the country. And an update now on 2 popular events coming up in our area. Charlotte County is giving the Inglewood Beach Water Fest $50,000 worth of in-kind services. $30,000 will also go towards the Florida International Air Show at the Punta Gorda Airport. Commissioners say both of those events are economic generators for our area. The air show will take place October 13th to the 15th, and the Waterfest will kick off November 17th and run until the 19th. Sounds like some great fall events.
Yeah, I've been to both of those. In fact, John and I were at the Waterfest one Saturday a few months ago, right, John?
Wow.
That's right. And it was beautiful weather.
It was.
Just the word November sounds so nice right now.
It does.
Not so hot. Looking forward to it.
But a lot of people like the hot weather, so, it's great. You'll get your share this afternoon, no doubt about it. We'll talk about warmer temperatures, but some better rain chances over the weekend coming up in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, we'll tell you about a Suncoast dancer thrilling crowds with the Royal Ballet of London.
And later in the hour, tragedy at a state fair in Ohio. We'll have that story at 5:35.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Another warm start to the morning. Already 80 degrees outside right now. And a dew point value coming in the mid-70s, making it feel even more steamy. We are headed toward a warm afternoon once again, but perhaps we'll have a few more showers around this afternoon. Got some pretty good ones in inland areas, but again, along the coastline, it was pretty much dry as a bone. And that led to some very warm heat indexes yesterday, and I think we'll probably do a similar sort of thing again today. Light winds currently will shift west with the sea breeze and linger throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. We're looking at 76 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka. Parrish coming in at 78, Bradenton at 78, so is Lakewood Ranch, 76 degrees in Northport, 76 in Inglewood, 78 in Venice, and 79 at Longboat Key. Start off the morning with a little bit of cloud cover around. The cloud cover caused by blow-off of shower and thunderstorm activity in inland areas yesterday. That cloud cover will give way to sunshine after the sun rises and the atmosphere starts to mix a little bit. We'll have some fair weather high clouds left over, but nothing that'll block the sun or prevent the daytime heating. It'll be warm again today in the low 90s, no doubt about it. Titan radar not showing a drop of rain across the region. It is dry as a bone out there this morning for your morning commute. Should be no issues. But yesterday we did pick up a few showers in inland areas. Some pretty good thunderstorms begin to blossom during the late afternoon, and I think that'll be probably the same sort of time period we'll be looking at again today. Those showers and thunderstorms tried to make it to the coast, but just sort of fell apart before ever having the opportunity to do so. But there were some pretty good rainfalls in inland areas around Wauchula, Arcadia, Ona, all seeing some places as much as 2-inch rainfalls or better. So that was pretty good coverage in inland locations, but again, near the coast, no rain falling. Today, we'll up the rain chance for coastal regions a couple of points. Come in at about a 30% chance of showers today instead of a 20% like we had yesterday. Still meaning the chances are pretty low for any kind of appreciable rainfall to break the afternoon heat. As far as thunderstorm activity across the nation, if you are traveling today, there is a slight risk, or I should say marginal risk, for some severe weather in parts of the plains from Oklahoma stretching on up into the Ohio Valley and then up into the northeast. The chance of any kind of severe weather for the state of Florida really doesn't exist today. Be lucky to get any thunderstorms. And the thunderstorms we do see will be in the spine of the state and toward the other coast, just as it have been. And that's because of our very light winds, high pressure sitting basically over the Gulf waters, nosing across the Florida peninsula, bringing us those light winds. And then in the afternoon, we develop the sea breeze that pushes most of the convection into inland areas. Our best chance of rain along the coast will be when that sea breeze starts to decrease in intensity a little bit during the evening hours, and a few of those showers try to kind of work their way back to the coastline. That will occur around the sunset hours or so. Look for a 20 to 30% chance of showers over the next several days, and we'll increase that rain chance to about 50 or 60% over the weekend as we have a frontal boundary that'll try to sink south and stick across parts of northern Florida. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look at traffic in Manatee County if you're heading out the door this morning. Not a whole lot going on. There is some slowdowns on 64 as you head into downtown Bradenton, but 301 State Road 70 looking good as we head into Sarasota County. Looks like it's pretty clear throughout that area. That congestion that was around the Bayfront has since cleared up, and in South County, again, pretty quiet at 519 on your Thursday morning. In the spotlight today, Francisco Serrano grew up on the baseball fields around the Suncoast.
And talk about a sharp turn now. He's thrilling audiences as he dances with the Royal Ballet of London.
Interesting.
Our Linda Carson has his story.
The Sarasota Cuban Ballet is rehearsing for their big show at the Opera House Saturday night.
We mix and do bits and pieces from all the classical ballets and contemporary new pieces that we're going to premiere.
Ariel's 20-year-old son, Francisco, now a dancer with the Royal Ballet in London, will be performing.
We're doing a suite of Corsair. I'm going to do a pas de deux with Amanda.
And Ariel's former coach and longtime legendary director of the Cuban Ballet is coaching. Watching her work with his son is a dream come true. Both Ariel and his wife were Cuban dancers and founded the Sarasota Cuban Ballet School. Francisco was born in Sarasota. He didn't dance as a kid.
He was playing baseball until he was 13 at Cal Ripken Complex and 17 over there. And I was the first base coach for my son, and I was in love with baseball. And then when he told me that he was going to dance, I said, oh no, Oh, no. No dance, no dance. But he insists.
I did baseball for 7 years maybe, and one day I just kind of decided that it was enough. I wasn't having that much fun.
He joined his mom's dance class, and she discovered he had amazing talent.
I was just kind of doing it to entertain myself for a bit, and then once my mom and my dad said like, oh, this could maybe be an option for the future, and I kind of thought like, okay, let's start getting serious.
A couple of years ago, he was discovered by the Royal Ballet of London, and he's been studying there ever since. He says he was well prepared.
When I got there, I feel like I fitted in.
And when he performs those amazing moves,
it's a moment of, I don't want to say relaxation, but it was definitely a moment of like peace.
And certainly a thrill for his parents.
To me, it's a completely over-the-top experience. The level of talent and the level of work he does and where he's dancing already surpassed me and my wife.
The Sarasota Cuban Ballet presents On Stage at the Sarasota Opera House Saturday night at 7 o'clock. You'll see the international stars of today and the superstars of tomorrow. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Great story there. And by the way, Francisco Serrano will actually be on the Suncoast View today, so keep an eye out for that.
I love when people of any age find their niche or their passion and they can pour themselves in it. He was playing baseball, decided he didn't love it, got into dancing.
Yeah, that's great.
Great story. Still ahead, we'll tell you why Apple's chief designer created the company's earbuds to look like stormtroopers from Star Wars.
And coming up at 5:30, President Trump takes to Twitter to announce a policy change regarding transgender people in the military, how the country is responding this morning when we come back.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Walking in the front door yesterday, and suddenly Erin, my wife, yelled. What's wrong? There's a snake.
Oh my goodness!
She yelled.
Oh.
Must have been a foot long.
I jumped. See Erin doing that.
I jumped in her arms. No. If you got any good pictures around your gardens or whatever, send them this way. We'd love to hear from you on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we also have up-to-date news stories on there. You can talk to us what your thoughts are on some of the issues around the Suncoast. And also, John has some pretty good articles on his Facebook page as well, so make sure to check that out.
All right, welcome back. 5:24 on your Thursday morning.
If you're looking for a job, look no further than Amazon. The online retail giant is holding a massive job fair next week.
And eBay is developing a new image recognition tool for its mobile app. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have details.
In today's Tech Bites, Amazon is hiring.
The e-commerce giant wants to fill 50,000 jobs, most of them full-time. So it's holding a nationwide job fair next Wednesday. in a dozen locations all around the country.
Amazon promises to make thousands of job offers right there on the spot.
Coming soon, a new shopping app from eBay that helps you find your favorite things.
So the app is called Image Search. It allows you to take a photo of something you want to buy, like an item of clothing, and use it to find listings a little more quickly.
And your Apple earbuds have a touch of the dark side in them.
Apple's chief designer says the Buds' look was inspired by the original Star Wars Stormtroopers.
And as if to come full circle, the current Star Wars costume designer admits that when designing the new costumes, he thought, what would Apple do?
Ah, it's like a Jedi mind trick. Ooh, those are Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
I am totally blind, and I live with non-24, a circadian rhythm disorder that can throw my days and nights out of sync, keeping me from the people, places, and things I love. The people I love have always been there for me, and now I'm there for them too. Talk to your doctor and call 844-214-2424 to learn more.
At Panera, a salad is so much more than one thing. More than one flavor or texture or color. A good, clean salad is so much more than green. And with Panera Catering, more for your event. Panera, food as it should be.
She's driven by a primal desire for meat, a lynx in the wild, and your cat. For a lynx, this need is satisfied by what the wild provides. For your cat, it's meat-rich blue wilderness, because your cat is wild inside.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, a new ban on transgenders in the military. We'll have reaction.
Plus, more changes at airports across the country. What new policy passengers will now have to abide by when going through security.
And a ride malfunctions at the Ohio State Fair, killing an 18-year-old and injuring 7 others. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, up to 5:30 now on July 27th. Glad you're with us. Early risers out there. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. I don't know about you, but when I was heading into work, I actually had to turn on the air conditioning today.
Yeah, I always do.
It was hot already at 4 o'clock this morning when I was heading out the door.
Yeah, hot one. What, 93 yesterday, John?
Yeah, 93.
Wow.
I'm impressed you've just started turning on the air conditioner in your car.
Well, I mean,
I've had the air conditioner running for about 3 months now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just so naturally cold all the time, and so I'm like, it's going to be cold in the studio. I won't turn the air conditioning on, and then I get in it, and it's just far too hot.
Well, there you go. That's why I never tried to comment one way or another on how the weather actually feels to folks. All I can tell you is that it's going to be a hot one again today by most people's reckoning. We're looking at temperatures that'll climb into the low 90s once again, with feels like temperatures in the near 100 to 105 degree range once again because of all the moisture around. Now, there is a little bit more moisture in the upper levels. We've got some cloud cover around on satellite. No rain yet. And I don't expect to see any till late in the afternoon, but there could be a few thunderstorms building in inland areas a little bit later in the day. Daytime highs will top out in the low 90s, forecast in a minute.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Checking Suncoast traffic. There's a scene right now in Manatee County. The only buildup we see is on the 301 southbound area as you leave downtown Bradenton and head towards Sarasota County. Speaking of which, a buildup there on Bee Ridge after you leave 41 and start heading east. A problem there around Tuttle and Swift. And South County, one little blip there on the screen just north of Business 41.
Topping our news this half hour, overnight the country responding to President Trump's sudden and sweeping policy change.
The president announced on Twitter a new ban on transgenders in the military. But as ABC's Emily Rao tells us, one issue is what to do about those currently serving.
A chorus of outraged protesters echoing nationwide. Trump is a liar! The about-face in policy coming in a series of early morning tweets. President Trump declaring the U.S. will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military.
I want to be fair, and the best way to do this is have a hearing, not a tweet.
The new policy and how it was announced quickly criticized by Democrats and Republicans alike.
It is a cruel and arbitrary decision designed to humiliate transgender Americans.
And the White House not giving many answers about what's next.
What happens to transgender service members now? Are they immediately thrown out of the military?
That's something that the Department of Defense and the White House will have to work together as implementation takes place and is done so lawfully.
The Pentagon estimates there are roughly 2,500 active duty transgender service members, a group whose rights candidate Trump promised to protect.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
The transgender sister of Jackie Ivanko, who sang at President Trump's inauguration, speaking out.
Us transgender folk can fight just as well as any other American.
And while the policy does appeal to some in his conservative base,
I really don't think that's where transgender belongs.
The fate of thousands of American service members now filled with uncertainty.
The president did successfully change the subject with this series of tweets, but instead of answering questions about Russia, the White House is now having to address what critics call a matter of human rights. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, another setback to the GOP plan to repeal Obamacare. The Senate rejected a Republican plan that would have repealed the Affordable Care Act. This comes as 7 Republicans joined Senate Democrats in a 45-55 vote to defeat the plan. It was the second setback that the GOP has suffered just this week alone in trying to overhaul health care.
Meantime, Congressman Steve Scalise has been released from the hospital. He'll now start an intensive inpatient rehab process. The 51-year-old congressman from Louisiana has been recovering from life-threatening gunshot wounds for the past 6 weeks. Scalise and 4 others were injured when a gunman opened fire at a baseball field during a Republican congressional baseball team practice. Police arrived and killed the shooter.
Frequent flyers will soon notice yet another security change at airports across the country. The TSA is announcing that items larger than a cell phone will now have to be put in a separate bin when going through security at U.S. airports. The new procedures include items like iPads, Kindles, and laptops. The measures are already active at 10 airports and will be expanded to all U.S. airports over the next couple of weeks. The TSA says that change affects passengers going through standard lines, but does not apply to those enrolled in TSA PreCheck. And in consumer news this morning, identity theft crimes are declining. According to the IRS, the number of victims was nearly cut in half last year when compared to the previous year. The numbers dropped from nearly 700,000 to 377,000 people. The IRS issues $300 billion in tax refunds each year, making it a very popular target for sophisticated thieves. But several years ago, the IRS began teaming up with major tax preparers to crack down on that problem.
It is 5:36 now. Overseas, the highest-ranking Vatican official ever charged in the Catholic Church sex abuse scandal made his first appearance in court yesterday. Cardinal George Pell faced a judge in his home country of Australia. The 76-year-old is charged in a series of sexual offenses from several years ago. He did not enter a plea on those charges yet. The hearing caused a media circus, as you see. Pell is Australia's highest-ranking Catholic and the number 3 man in the Vatican. His lawyer plans to fight the allegations that have threatened the Pope's image as a crusader against abusive clergy. And a follow-up on the heat wave in France. Some of the nation's famous vacation spots are suffering from drought-like conditions, which are now causing wildfires. The flames have caused some 10,000 evacuations, and about 600 firefighters are working to contain them. The heat is also being felt in Italy, where Rome is facing a water crisis. In fact, the Vatican turned off its fountains for the first time ever because of the ongoing drought.
Back in the U.S., officials are now releasing footage of a bold jailbreak where 3 inmates escaped a maximum security prison in Southern California. The footage recorded by the men using a contraband cell phone. One of the inmates lifting a metal screen in order to slip out and then travel up the roof, where they then rappelled down the building. The 3 men were in jail over charges ranging from murder to kidnapping and torture. After just 8 days on the run, all 3 were back in jail, where they still remain this morning, now also facing several more charges related to that escape. Well, it's 5:37 this morning, and we're now learning more about a tragic accident in one of the country's largest state fairs Wednesday night.
As reporter John Lawrence tells us, 1 person was killed and 7 others were injured.
Hours after the 2017 Ohio State Fair started, it suffered the worst disaster in its history.
It's kind of hard to imagine that you have family that goes to a state fair and those calls come that there was a terrible accident, a terrible tragedy, and somebody you love was involved.
A ride at the fair called the Fireball malfunctioned, and an entire row of seats snapped off while it was in motion.
I heard a girl scream help, and I look over and I seen something fly out. And then I seen it slap to the ground.
The whole cart broke off, about 4 of them in it.
1 man was killed, 7 others were injured. 3 of those who survived are in critical condition.
They're all in an intensive care unit, being closely monitored and receiving active interventions with physicians at the bedside.
Ohio Governor John Kasich ordered all the rides to be shut down as additional safety inspections will be performed on them. No word yet on what caused the malfunction.
We will get to the bottom of this. We will investigate it. There will be complete transparency.
Inspectors say the Fireball was checked earlier in the day and there were no red flags.
My grandchildren ride this equipment, so our guys do not rush through this stuff. We look at it, we take care of it, and we pretend it's our own.
The 12-day fair will be open for its scheduled run. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Back in Florida now, Governor Rick Scott wants to give an additional raise to law enforcers. The pay increase will be for highway patrol troopers, wildlife officers, and other law enforcement officers. Legislators have already agreed to give the nearly 4,000 sworn law enforcement officers a 5% raise, but Scott wants an additional $30 million set aside next year, and that money would also be used to help recruit and retain officers.
Home prices are on the rise across Florida as the number of sales continue to go up. According to the industry group Florida Realtors, the median price for a single-family home is now $245,000. That's up 9% from last year. Realtors say it's a matter of supply and demand, with prospective buyers outpacing the inventory of homes. Realtors say it is a seller's market right now.
What we're really experiencing are multiple offers. When homes are put on the market in really good condition, priced correctly, they sell fast.
More than 28,000 single-family homes were sold statewide in June. That's up more than 4% last year. Prices of townhouses and condos are also rising. And some local governments in Florida are taking it upon themselves to try and keep television and film production companies here in our state. A state program ended last year that offered nearly $300 million in film incentives. In order to try and keep more production companies from leaving Florida, Miami-Dade County and the city of Miami are now offering tens of thousands of dollars in subsidies for TV, film, and video productions within the area.
Back on the Suncoast, a new attempt to bring more medical professionals to the area. USF Sarasota Manatee is teaming up with Lake Erie College to offer qualified students degrees in dentistry or osteopathic medicine. Those accepted will get early admission into the college's osteopathic medicine program in Lakewood Ranch. The partnership comes after a recent report on the lack of medical professionals on the Suncoast. Starting out, LECOM will admit up to 5 USF students a year. Interesting initiative there. Sometimes it's called a brain drain when college students graduate from here and then leave the area. This is one way to also keep them here as well.
I'm surprised we have a lack of medical practitioners.
Yeah.
It seems like every other business is a doctor's office.
That's true. That's true too.
But yeah, I get it. Across the nation, there's certainly a dearth of medical professionals as the economy becomes, I guess, less favorable for medicine.
True.
I guess. Have a forecast for you coming up in a few.
All right, thanks, John. Still ahead, are you stressing out about your next workout?
We'll tell you why a new study suggests just thinking poorly about exercise could be harmful. Up next in Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins.
To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Start your day with a new Good Morning Suncoast team. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
ABC 7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
At 5:46 in the morning, it is 80 degrees outside. And there's actually three reasons for that this morning. One, we have a little bit of high cloudiness around that's helping to keep our temperatures locked in at the surface. Two, we have a very high dew point value, 75 degrees. That's a lot of moisture at the surface, and that tends to hold in the heat. Moisture is a very good sink for heat. In other words, it really does retain the heat well. And the third reason is a lack of showers has kept our temperatures warm. Yesterday we hit 93 degrees, and today will probably be another warm one. Winds are light, northeast at about 3. That'll shift to the west in the afternoon as the sea breeze gets going. 80s all along the coastline with 81 at Longboat Key. A few degrees, but not many, cooler in inland areas with 78s pretty prevalent. Wauchula, Arcadia, Myakka, all at 78, 79 degrees in Parrish, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, and Northport. As we head into the afternoon, we are unlikely to see a large outbreak of shower and thunderstorm activity. Got some pretty good ones in inland yesterday, and I think today we will probably again see some storminess around in inland areas. The furthest extent of that sea breeze front inland as those west winds develop with the sea breeze in the afternoon. Got some pretty good showery activity to the north of us. A little trough of low pressure still lingering there. That trough of low pressure extending into parts of North Florida. That's bringing some showers to the Nature Coast this morning. But otherwise, just not seeing a whole lot here locally. The morning commute will be absolutely rain-free. We'll watch some showers build later in the day. We might have a shower or two off the coastline, but nothing that is going to present itself over land this morning. I think as we head into the early afternoon, we have a chance of seeing some showers close to the coastline and maybe on the coastline. But then as we head into the late afternoon, we'll probably see those showers build Wauchula, Ona, Hardy, and DeSoto counties, inland Charlotte counties, all likely to see a little bit of rain shower activity. And the thing is, these are going to be slow-moving storms, so if you're under one of them, you'll probably get a pretty good rainfall, just as you did yesterday when there were some, over-inch rainfalls kind of widespread in inland areas. Today, high pressure, the dominant weather feature once again, kind of nosing across the state, bringing us that west wind as we head into the afternoon. A little trough of low pressure, again bringing some showers to the north of us. And we'll continue to watch that sea breeze front, keep the coast just a little bit cooler. Small rain chances near the coast today. Better rain chances inland, and mostly sunny skies after we get rid of this morning cloudiness and kind of mix that away, leading to some building clouds in inland areas later in the afternoon. Forecast looks like this. We'll have a slightly better rain chance today as we have a little bit more moisture around. We'll go with about a 30% chance today instead of the 20% chance that we had yesterday. Now inland, Hardy, DeSoto counties and inland Charlotte counties, your rain chance probably around 40 to 50%. And then over the next several days, we'll slowly increase the moisture and slowly start to up the rain chances as we head into the weekend. By next week, we'll see rain chances that'll be in the 60 to 70% range. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. If you're heading out the door in Manatee County this morning, there are some slowdowns on 301 heading southbound. Also, State Road 70 heading towards 301, and a few congestion problems as you head into downtown Bradenton and Sarasota County. Looks like Bee Ridge heading towards the interstate, getting off of 41, seeing some traffic. Also around the Bayfront and in South County, pretty quiet throughout that area. 549 on your Thursday morning. In this hour's Health Smart, there's a groundbreaking new advancement to help patients requiring stem cell therapies for spinal cord injuries, stroke, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's disease.
According to a new study published in Nature Communications, This advancement would help any condition requiring tissue regeneration. Researchers say their latest work may lead to materials that manage stem cells for more effective regenerative therapies. It will also allow scientists to find new ways to control cell function. One possibility is using a developed synthetic material to signal stem cells to generate, then stop when necessary.
And don't stress about skipping out on your next workout or comparing your fitness to others. Just try to feel good about whatever exercise you're able to accomplish. A new study suggests just thinking that you're not exercising as much as you should or as much as others may be harmful. People who thought they were less active than their peers had a greater chance of dying younger, even if their actual activity levels were the same. Research suggests that the health perks of exercise may come not just from physical activity, but also how people think and feel about it, which makes me feel a little bit better that I missed out on my workout yesterday.
Yeah, there are books and books written about the power of thought.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Aaron and I did yoga for an hour.
Oh, how'd that go for you?
Feels good.
There you go. Well, I'm still kind of sore from lifting some weights on Tuesday.
Wow.
So
5:51 right now. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. We'll update your day's top news headlines and funny story here. The Chicago Cubs baby boom.
We'll tell you how a World Series victory is creating a surge of new Cub fans after this.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Attention! Royal Seas Cruises has just announced their deal of the day, a $99 Caribbean cruise for 2 people. This amazing cruise deal to the Bahamas is only available to the first 500 callers who register in your area today. So get ready to write down this number and act fast. We know that the best type of traveler is a repeat guest, so we're offering this $99 Caribbean cruise to prove it. That's $99 per couple, including your stateroom, all your delicious meals, full spa, live entertainment, 3 kids clubs, and more. Come see why we were voted one of the top 10 best overall cruises by Cruise Critic. We're so sure you'll enjoy yourself and become a repeat customer that you're getting this deal of the day for the unbelievable low price of just $99 per couple. But you've got to act fast. Pick up the phone and be one of the first 500 callers to take the Caribbean cruise of a lifetime for just $99 per couple. Call right now or log on to RoyalCruiseNow.com.
Call 800-906-0489.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Here's a shot of Fruitville Road looking toward downtown Sarasota as you awaken on this humid Thursday morning, 5:54, another hot one on the menu.
Let's take a look at some of the top stories here on the Suncoast today.
A 68-year-old homeless man from Port Charlotte is now talking about his swim with an alligator earlier this week. The man said he was getting out of a retention pond after a bath when the 9-foot gator attacked. He lost some fingers and toes. He's currently hospitalized in Fort Myers.
Plus, a piece of Suncoast history is coming down. Crews are demolishing the Whitfield Presbyterian Church on North Tamiami Trail. The church opened in the 1950s as the first drive-in church in the country.
And a big boost for 2 local events. Charlotte County is giving in-kind services to support the Punta Gorda Air Show in October and the Englewood Beach Water Fest in November. They'll receive $80,000 combined for these 2 events.
Finally this hour, it's not uncommon for a city to see an increase in the number of babies born after a national championship win. That seems to be the case in Chicago right now, where there has been a bit of a baby boom just 9 months after the Cubs World Series win. One Chicago area hospital says the rate of babies born has doubled since mid-July. A similar occurrence happened after the Boston Red Sox won the World Series in 2005. So that is quite the interesting.
The theory is that couples are just so happy they celebrate?
Home run.
Well, no, let's not go that way. Right.
Apparently.
All right.
There you go.
I'm speechless. All right, we'll have more of comedian John Scalzi and the, what is it, the news?
Oh, yeah, we'll have more of that.